Hi, welcome to Reform Tech channel. In this video, we'll talk about S3 and we'll see how to upload a file, and also I'll show you how to make S3 as a static website hosting. Alright, so S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. It is a service that provides object level storage through a web service interface. Right, so if you'd ask me what is the difference between S3 and EBS, both of them are file storage service that are provided by AWS. The main difference between them is that what they can be used with. So EBS is specifically meant for EC2 instances and is not accessible unless mounted to one. We have seen this in a last video also. So on the other hand, S3 is not limited to EC2. The files within an S3 bucket can be retrieved using any HTTP protocols and even with the BitTorrent. So many sites use S3 to hold most of their files because it is accessible and it is having the HTTP clients. Alright, so let's quickly I'll quickly walk through the S3 bucket now. So if you go to services and if you search for S3, you'll have it S3 here, and I'll click on S3. And here I'm going to create a bucket, so I'll say create bucket. So this is the first screen. There's a dashboard screen when you create a bucket, and so bucket name should be unique, so it should not be the same as it exists already. So you have to name something different. Let me check whether Reform Tech S3. Let me just Reform Tech S3 bucket. I hope this name is not there, but let me check. And you have an AWS region. So AWS region is something that it is to choose any AWS region for geographically which is close to you. You have to choose that region. So this help in optimizing latency, and it also minimizes cost or address regulatory requirements. Okay, so for now I'll go with the AP South one itself. Okay, and yeah, so ACL you can just enable it, and that's okay. And so this is the main thing again, the block public access, right? So if you would uncheck this, then your buckets would be accessible to the entire world. Okay, for now I'll keep this as checked, and I'll show you how it works and how to uncheck this also later. Okay, and bucket versioning, yes, we have a versioning, and that's a good advantage in S3, that it keeps like multiple variants, like you can have multiple files. So you create a file today and you update it, so that creates another version, and that is also saved. So versioning is also there, but for now I'm just disabling it. Could attacks, and those things also can be encrypted. Whatever the storage, those can be encrypted. So these are the other options also with S3, but I'm just leaving them as it is for now, and I'll say create bucket. Let's just check whether the name exists. Alright, great. So we have a bucket now. We have named it as Reform Tech S3 bucket, and you see that bucket and objects are not public. Right, so for now the bucket and objects are not public. So what I'll do is I'll go to this bucket and I'm going to upload a file now. I'll say upload, and I'll say add files, and I have an AWS image, so I drop this image into this bucket. Okay, so alright, so I'm not giving anything for now here, just leaving it as it is. I'll say upload, and it is uploading. Yep, it's done. I'll close it. Okay, here's our image, and I'm clicking on this. So if I say open, it will open the image for us. Okay, this is the image what I uploaded in the S3 bucket, but this image is now accessible from the AWS console. Okay, but if you want to access it from anywhere, by a single link, then you have to do it with the object URL. So if I copy this and if I paste it here, it says access denied, right? Because the bucket is not public yet. So once you make the bucket as public, then this would be accessible from anywhere. Alright, outside the console also, I mean. Okay, so now let's make the bucket public. So for which I'm going to Amazon S3 again. I'll check this, I'll enter into this, and here you have an properties and permissions also. So if you go to permissions, and if you see that there is an option called as block public access, just say edit, and I'll just uncheck this now. Okay, and I'll say save changes, I'll say confirm. Alright, so this is now public. Okay, the bucket is now public. Okay, I'll go to S3, Alright, so objects can be public. The bucket is now public. Now I want to make the objects inside the bucket also as public. So I'll check this. This is the object we want to make it public. I'll check this. I'll go to actions, and here you have an option called as make public. So I'll check this, make public. Okay, so this is done now. I'll say close. Okay, now if you come here to this tab and refresh the page, yes, you're able to see this image. So this is how you can make an object public in S3. Alright, so now let's see how to host a static website also in S3, for which you need an index.html first. So I already have an index.html, or you can have any other, you can have a page also. So like index.html or edit.html, but I have only index.html for now. So what I'll do is I'm going to upload that index.html. I'm going to upload that index.html in this S3 bucket. So I'll come here, I'll say upload, add files. This is index.html. I'm just uploading here. Let's say upload. Alright, so it is now uploaded, and yeah, as you could see, the file is here. And if you go to this link, and here's the object URL. So if I click on this link and say okay, we have to make this also public before that. So I'll go to object actions, make public. Okay, and make public. Alright, so it is now public. I will get the object URL, and I'll check this. Yep, it's now accessible. Okay, so but now you logged in with the object URL, right? So this is the object URL. The object URL has your bucket name, and it is the S3 and the region, and it says the Amazon.html, and /.index.html, right? So this is the link which we have just hit now. Okay, now I want to host this with the static web hosting option that is provided by AWS. So for that, what we can do is go back to the bucket, and if you go to the properties, if you just scroll down, you see that there is an option. Okay, I'll go back to this bucket. Yeah, here it is, properties, and here I will search for an option called static web hosting. Let me check again. Okay, inside this bucket, index.html and properties. Alright, so just give me a minute, and I think we have to make the bucket itself. So static hosting, I'll go to properties here. Yeah, and here I should see it. Yeah, here you see it. So it is not specific to object, it's specific to the bucket. So you have to go to the bucket, you have to just click on the bucket, and so here you should see that static web hosting is here. I'll say edit, and I will click on enable, and it is asking you hosting a static website or redirecting request for an object. I'll say host a static website, and you have to give the index.html. You have to name it as his index.html here, and you have to make sure that index.html is also there in your bucket. Okay, and if you have an error.html, yes, you can do it. We can name this also as error.html, but for now I do not have it, so I'll leave it as empty, and I will save this change. So once you save this change, if you scroll down now, and in the static web hosting, you will see a link that is provided. So this is the link which is it's just a static web hosting. It's like a domain. Okay, so you could access this, and I will hit this website, and here you go. So if you compare this both links, you could see some difference in it. So this is just our bucket name, and AP South 1 the region, and Amazon AWS, and index.html, right? But if you go to this link, which is created by static web hosting, you will see the bucket reform tech S3 bucket, and it is a website. It's like a domain. Okay, so you get like a domain, and yes, and it goes like .com array. So this is the difference between, you do not have the index.html or whatever file we hit, you do not have those details in this. So this is a static web hosting, and this is how you have to host your static website. And this link you can attach it to any domain, and that is how a static website hosting works in an S3. Alright, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video.